Welcome back, or welcome to my channel, My Creative Garden. I found this wine cabinet on the side of the road and it had so many cool features to it. It had a lot of character and I thought I could do something pretty cool with it. So I found these legs at Home Depot and I cut them down because they were way too tall. And I thought I could just use the bottom half, or the bottom part that I cut off, for a different project in the future. First, cleaning. Oh my goodness, did this need cleaned. I scrubbed this thing for hours, it seemed, just trying to get all the gunk out of it and all the sticky stuff off, and it had holes in it on the top and the bottom. It seemed in the same places. I don't know what they were from. It didn't look like it was any way to anchor it in, but as you can see on the side here, there was a split right down there and it was warping the wood, so I ended up just cleaning it out real well and then putting some wood glue in there and clamping it, make sure that it regained its stability. I ended up sanding it down and then I put some Bondo on afterward just to make sure it was nice and flush there. But here I put on the legs. I actually ended up moving them later. I was too lazy to do it at the time because I didn't want to have to sand down the whole bottom piece to make it flush, since the trim on the outside jutted out farther than this centerpiece here in the middle. But eventually I broke down and sanded it anyway because it just looked better with the legs all the way on the corners. This hardware was so corroded. I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed them with some barkeeper's friend, some white vinegar, and I mean, I got them as clean as I possibly could get them, but the bottom one especially, it had a lot of it was very rough, so it had a lot of grit on there that I couldn't quite get it completely clean. And I ended up spraying them with some mirror effect that I use for the backing, but I didn't get that on film. And I thought it looked pretty decent and tied in perfectly. To create the faux Mercury glass mirror effect, I used some white vinegar and lightly misted it on the entire glass backing. I also added some bigger splotches for some variation. Keep in mind I did like 6 or 7 coats of this Rust-oleum mirror effect, first horizontally and then vertically until I got my desired coverage. Next, I folded up a paper towel and scrubbed it away, did another coat, and then scrubbed it away again. And when I say scrubbing, I just mean I lightly went in little circles over the entire piece to expose the vinegar splotches. And then I topped it with a matte black Rust-oleum spray paint. I created a custom plywood backing for it. That way it couldn't get scraped or anything throughout the years. You'd still have that nice faux Mercury glass mirror backing there. And I really am pleased with the way it turned out. It wasn't perfect, but it did look pretty cool. Tell you how many times I cleaned this thing out on the inside. It loves to collect dust and anything else, everything else. I guess that's a good thing it came with a door to keep all the dust out once you have stuff stored in there. I did prime this with Bin's shellac based primer. although I'm not really sure it was necessary because the paint I used did have a built-in primer, and it's black, so if it gets scraped or anything or scratched up, I think it would be a lot easier to see that white through there. So that was just me not thinking in the moment, but it is extra protected, so that's a plus. So the frame for the glass on the door was not sturdy, or these little plastic things that you can slide in order to take the glass out, and I absolutely hated them. They seemed very flimsy, and I decided I was going to make something that would be a little stronger and that would also be a little more aesthetically pleasing. So I made these to go around each of the four corners and on the top and the bottom to hold the glass into the frame for the door. Also, the glass that's in there, the corners were jagged, and that seemed very dangerous to me. So this is also a way to safeguard any possible injury that might have occurred without them there. guys have enjoyed this flip, feel free to let me know what you think in the comments. In my next video, I will be working on this headboard that I found on Facebook Marketplace and customizing it to suit our bedroom since we don't have a headboard right now. See you guys soon!